I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like this and I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like Elf. I thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube Live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your shame for the championship. Bucking on town, duck down. Falcons pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy, then you probably smell the crooked referees or Roger Goodell. Yeah, like this and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like this and I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
All right. Shout out to the mighty Who Dat Nation, man. We up in this thing, the Sports Coma representing in this piece. Much love to the family, like I've been saying for some time now. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You're now rocking with the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys, where we have intense, entertaining, educating, and enlightening sport talk from your favorite sports fam. What's popping? How y'all doing, fam? Appreciate y'all for being in this midweek edition of the Coma. Saints midweek wrap up. Well, we got a few things to talk about tonight. Won't keep you guys for long. We'll go over several videos. We'll go over some articles. We'll get right down to it. So shout out to the fam. Appreciate each and every last one of you guys for being here. Please do me a service and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and by all means, feel free to share the show on your social media feed. It helps us out greatly. Kai, shout out to my guy. Kai, shout out to you. Appreciate you, brother. Pete, how you doing, sir? Appreciate you. Brother Prime is in this thing. Much love. K-Man, what's happening? Brother Judah's in this thing. Shout out to my queens. Dana, much love. Antoinette, how you doing, baby? Appreciate you as well. Sky was popping. Brother Ramon's in this thing. Much love to everybody, man. Thank y'all for joining me for this episode of the stream. So as you can see, we open up the broadcast with an overall view of what Dennis Allen's head coaching career is statistically. What's up, Princess? How you doing? And you can see right there, man, straight up what time it is. Raiders schedule 4-12, 4-14, 0-4. Saints 2022, several years later, 7-10, 2023, 7-7 as it stands right now. And of course, you can see he had really a lot of success in 2020. I mean, more success than he's ever had in terms of being a coach. Never won 7 games before prior to last year. And of course, this is what it looks like this year. at 7-7. So anyway, shout out to the rest of the fam. Dre Day, infamous OG Jerry. Shout out to you. Good to see you, brother. Quavadius is in this thing. Much love to everybody. Just giving you guys a little vantage point of what his schedule looks like, his coaching career up to this point. And I often ask myself, what possessed Mickey Loomis to look at this guy and say this guy could be a coach? I just don't get it. But anyway, let's jump right into it, fam. Let's get right into the first injury report of the week. Wednesday injury report. 10 Saints players listed on this injury report for week 17 against the Bucs. You got a few things going on with that. You got Jordan Howden, who's not injury related, dealing with an illness. He did not practice. Lonnie Johnson Jr. has a knee issue. Ryan Ramczyk also is dealing with a knee issue. Isaiah Foskey is quadricep. He is limited. Jimmy Graham had some rest. I don't understand why Jimmy Graham needs rest. He rarely plays. And when he does play, he gets a handful of snaps. So I know he ain't that in bad of shape. I mean, this guy just said he was on the damn bicycle, doing these long ass marathons. So I don't know how much rest he could possibly get. Would he be using them for? I just don't know. Cam Jordan ankle limited. Eric McCoy has a foot issue. He's limited. Kendre Miller an ankle. Chris Olave's an ankle, and Peyton Turner dealing with a toe. So anyway, that's some of their guys. Tampa Bay, nothing of great renown, except for Shaq Barrett's pretty good. Linebacker with a groin issue. He was shut down. Carlton Davis had a concussion. He's one of their cornerbacks there. He was DNP'd. Cole Keft, who's a tight end, shoulder issue, was DNP. Wide receiver Raheem Jarrett was fully practiced, and defensive interiorman Mike Green had a calf issue. He fully practiced for the Buccaneers. So we're going to try to get Brother James to come in here later on in the week, and we'll do a preview stream of the Bucs and Saints matchup for week 17, man. A lot of football. We only have 2 games remaining, man, in this NFL regular season for the black and gold. Here's a look at the standings right now in the NFC South. As you can see, Tampa Bay feeling pretty good about themselves. They're on a 4-game winning streak, 4-1 of the last 5 contests. They're doing pretty good. They're 4-3 at home, but have been playing a lot better. They're playing really confident football. They're peaking at the right time. Atlanta 7-8. They were able to get a win last week. They pushed the Saints back down to 3rd place, who's 7-8, and the Saints can't seem to get it right. So, like I said, we've covered this before, man, and it's just unfortunate at how they just squander these resources, squander opportunities, squander time. They just time wasting. Just people just waste so much time. It's ridiculous. And in the NFC race, you can see the Niners, who got blasted by the Ravens. They're still a top team right there by the Eagles, the Lions, the Cowboys, followed by the Bucs in 4th place. They're in the hunt teams. The Rams, Seahawks are there. And then on the bubble teams, the Vikings, Packers, and 3rd behind them are the Saints. And they got the Falcons right up under the Saints. I don't know why that is the case, because really Falcons should be above the Saints. But I don't know if this is a issue at all, but I think the Falcons should be above the Saints. So at least somebody's showing them some love here. And this is just what it is, man. All right, so anyway, let's keep it pushing, man, because we got a lot to talk about. Let's go into this one. Shout out to Kat Terrell over at ESPN. She did a wonderful article that kind of just broke down and said a lot of the stuff that we were saying. Saints in must-win mode as playoff chances are thinning. 2 games is all they got. So I highlighted a portion of the article that I wanted to go over. I have an opportunity, or really the time, to go over all of this stuff, but this is what I highlighted. Saints 7-8 have to win out to have a shot at making the postseason. Even that won't guarantee them a spot. They'll need to beat Tampa Bay and Atlanta and hope some other things fall their way as well. So this is true. This is true. Like, people thinking we just win and win. A few more things have to happen. Coach Dennis Allen was asked if it was safe to say the playoffs start this week. He didn't confirm that thinking, but did say the Saints need to be at their best. I think it's safe to say we need to go out and win this week. That's the only thing we really control. So any of those other variables, it's in somebody else's hands, but we control how we play this week. So we need to go out and play really well against Tampa Bay. And this type of rhetoric that we would have loved to hear several weeks ago when everything was in your hands. And this is like, this is what we call justice, right? This is karma. This is the law of karma. Like, if you go out and you half-ass everything, You have shitty practices, even though you lie and say they're Hall of Fame practices. Or we had great practices, but great practices translate into a 7-8 team. I've never heard them come out and say, oh, you know what? We've had a really tough practice. We really need to. Every practice is great. All these games they go into, they stink, they stumble, they bumble, they fall around. They look like the Three Stooges sometimes, and then they look like gangbusters at other times, which is why I came up with the rock group entitled Dysfunctional Dynamite, because that is exactly what happens. And I was making light of it, but really the truth of the matter is that's exactly what the Saints are. They're like the messed up bull crap, tore up dynamite that Wile E. Coyote handles, when he's trying to throw it at the Roadrunner, and it don't blow up when he throws it at him. It blows up when he goes and says, why that didn't blow? He goes over there and it blows up in his face. It don't make no sense why that would happen. But this is the thing, this is what these guys do. They are severely dysfunctional. 7-8. They've had a lot of their players for the duration of the year. And this is what they turn into. They turn into the rock group, the 80s failed rock band, which really wasn't a rock band. It's just something I created called Dysfunctional Dynamite. The members of Dysfunctional Dynamite are Slick Mickey, Sneaky Pete, Check Down Charlie, and D.A. Answerless. So, yeah, this is Dysfunctional Dynamite. No hits are coming, so don't even try to wait for this bullshit album, because it's not coming anytime soon, and they probably gonna get canned before they get going. So anyway, let's finish this up, fam. All right, so anyway, Tampa Bay 8-7 can clinch the NFC South title for the third straight season with a win against the Saints on Sunday. And might I add, this is a Tampa Bay team that is without Tom Brady. This team was supposed to be the worst team in the NFC South. They are poised to win this division. Let me say that again. A Tampa Bay team without Tom Brady, led by Baker Mayfield, is there and stink. Well, I ain't gonna say the man stinks because he's playing like a world beater. His numbers are way better than Derek Carr's number. You would think that Baker's numbers should be Derek Carr's numbers, how the Saints were galvanizing talent around Carr. He was supposed to be the last piece of some immaculate puzzle that was going to be something special. And it wasn't, because it's not totally all on Carr. It's on the guys above him. And what really hurts Carr's play is he's just a player. But the coaches can really bring out the best of these guys and make them a lot better if they address what's really wrong with these guys and not sugarcoat and protect them. Dennis Allen doesn't do Derek Carr any service by protecting him. He doesn't criticize him when he stinks, but then gives him comeuppance when he wins. And I said this. I said that's inconsistent bullshit, hypocrisy, very hypocrisy. That's just the state of hypocrisy. There it is. Very hypocritic bullshit behavior by Dennis Allen. Yeah, I mean, just totally ridiculous. If you're going to give him comeuppance or give him credit, then you also have to give him the blame too. But when it comes down to giving blame, it's the team's fault that we have to play better in all aspects. No. If the offense plays better and the offense scores 21 points a game or 20, give 21 points a game, that most of these games the Saints will win, and the defense would then feed off the offense. Just a state of hypocrisy with Dennis Allen. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. He don't even see it. And the coaches around Derek Carr, need to be fired too, because they are not pointing out his game. They're trying to script plays for him. They know his problems, and instead of trying to get him to see the field and play better, what they do is they try to script plays around how he doing things, and you can't do that because it's dysfunctional. You're not going to win that way. And as you can see, the team is not responding, and there is a rift in the team organization. We know about the stuff dealing with Marshawn Lattimore. It's not official, but we know about the stuff with Mike. We're dealing with Mike Thomas when he said what he said, and then they deleted their tweet. Remember all of that? And that's not hard to tell. You know why? It's not like I'm standing in the middle of the locker room while they're pushing on each other, trying to say, man, you need to do this better. Man, when that's what happened with teams, when they visibly frustrated to the point where the wide receivers are getting arrested for stuff that they don't. Them guys never been arrested for nothing, man. They never been problem people. But then all of a sudden, Dennis Allen's here. You got this guy getting arrested. This other guy speeding. You got both your starting wide receivers at one point or another was arrested. Just outright, just frustration all over the place. So yes, there is the divide and split among the team. You can see it. You can see how they play. You can see how they play. So it's not, and we said that, man, yeah, them half the guys they want them and half the guys don't want them. You can see it. And what makes it because you have to be able to put these people in positions to win. And when you show this type of BS flip-floppy behavior, what Dennis Allen does, and he comes out and he says the stuff about everybody else needs to play better. He refuses to criticize Carr. I have to criticize Carr. I have to call out all of Carr's flaws. The fact that he's staring down the field, the left side of the field, that he don't cycle through progressions, just the same old stuff I see every week because he does the same old thing. It's not like he's doing different things. He does the same dysfunctional football bullshit every game. And they are not fixing it. They're trying to scheme around it, and that's stupid. Fix them or get them out of here. Bottom line. It's the same with Dennis Allen. That's the type of straight face approach that you have to have. You have to have that type of approach if you're serious about winning games. It's just what it is. And I don't have any problem with Derek Carr as a person. I just think, like I said, I'm calling him out as a player. And I know players on that team that want to win, that know that this team has a window to win. And the next 2 games that they got to win, I mean, listen, man, to me, from a karma standpoint, the Saints don't deserve anything. They don't deserve to go anywhere. They're going to try to, if they had the season in hand. When they lost when they lost to Minnesota and had the bye week, they had plenty of time to come out and make changes to the offense, personnel, all of that. Dennis Allen did nothing. He kept doing the same thing. He needs to be fired. Don't think for a second he's going to change something different now. Why didn't he make those decisions then? Now all of a sudden the sky is falling. We knew the sky was falling 6+ weeks ago because it's not hard to tell. But when you got people that's non-progressive dinosaurs sitting on top of the team pretending like they know what they're doing when everybody can see the world around them is burning, except for them, they got to go. It's time for you to go. You don't have it no more. You don't have it no more. Get your ass up out of here. So anyway, Tampa Bay 8-7. They clinched the NFC title without Tom Brady. That's Baker Mayfield leading this team. The only scenario for us is to make the playoffs is we have to win out the last 2. You have to win if you want to have any chance. That's what center Eric McCoy said. The same center, and I got love for Eric McCoy. He's one of my favorite guys on this team, for real. Super cool dude. But listen, it ain't about that. It's about your play. And McCoy spends so much time on the ground, I think he's trying to become a goddamn gardener. That's what I think. I think McCoy spends so much time on the ground, I think he's trying to study. He's trying to find lithium in the ground. He's trying to mine for resources in the damn ground. That's how McCoy. I mean, it's just ridiculous, man. It's really bad. So anyway, Buccaneers have beaten the Saints in their last 3 meetings, the last 3, including the 26-9 victory in Week 4 when the Saints failed to score 8 touchdowns, offensively speaking. By the way, for your recollection, he was not Dennis Allen did not criticize Carr in that game. He did not criticize him with the pick 6. Didn't call it out. Said it was a team thing. But in the end, it is what it is. All right. So anyway, shout out to the fan. Appreciate y'all being here. Brother Prime says type Carr sucks on YouTube. And boy, they got a million videos with what's his face? Carr sucks. Carr stinks. Used car for sale. I seen that one. The dude rigged up a jersey and had a used car for sale. That was pretty funny, man. But like I said, man, a really good coach can come in and can help the Saints win games. They really could. A good coach can, or he really can, because a good coach is going to make sure Carr irons out the wrinkles in his game. That's when it comes down to. And that's all it is. He can help. And I know a lot of guys don't like Carr. I get it, but in the end, a really good coach could fix some of the discrepancies in this game. And another thing is to give him a running attack. It is one of the worst things I've seen from an offensive standpoint outside of Dennis Allen, Pete Carmichael, Derek Carr, is the Saints running attack. That is, to me, one of the worst things that I've seen this season. You have Elvin Kamara and Jamal Williams together. Do you not understand how potentially great that combination could be? Jamal has like 200-something yards rushing with 0 rushing touchdowns. 0. Last year, even though he started last year, he had 18 rushing touchdowns and led the NFL. He comes to the Saints, he barely has 200 yards rushing. Now, he missed a few games, but in the games where the Saints do run Jamal, he's 2 yards a carry, 3 yards a carry. And Elvin's get this. He does a little bit better, which teaches the fact that the offensive line for the Saints stink. How could you have Elvin and Jamal Williams and not have a decent running game that you would need to take into each one of these games to take the pressure off of a garbage time Carr play? You got to have the running attack. You got to score some kind of way. So if you take the ball out of Carr's hands, put it in your running attack, you have a chance. Then you minimize his ability in it. Like I said, keep his reps, his snaps down. Saints have no indication of stopping that at all. They continue to do the same stuff over and over again. But Brother Prom, thank you for that, bro. Appreciate you there. All right. Thank you, Mr. Mel says excellent commentary as usually. Happy holidays. Now, thank you, Mr. Melvin. Appreciate you, sir. Much love to you, my brother, Mr. Mel. Much love, sir. Thank you. Brent says, we up in this thing. Shout out to you, Brent, as well. And he also says, well, now listen. Well, hold on now. Yeah, that's right. Now listen. I think we got the right possum in the building. Yes. Oh, yeah. Hold on now. Hold on. I think we got the right possum. I mean, man in the building. I'm telling you something. I know it. I know you don't know. I know. I'm the general manager. I'm the vice president of football operation. I know. Oh, yes, indeed. I know. Thank you, Brett. Appreciate you. Brother Carl says there's a universe where we hired Doug Peterson. Yes, it's a multiverse where we hired all of these different dudes, bro. Yeah, we hired Dougie Peterson was the first dude the Saints interviewed for the head coaching job. The first dude. I think the next interview was with Jacksonville, and they hired him. Saints didn't have an opportunity to call him back, but they wasn't serious anyway. So, all right, he says, well, we hired Dougie P and signed Baker Mayfield. We chose the dark future. Instead, Loomis needs to fire DA to save his legacy. I really don't think Mickey Loomis cares much about that legacy, to be honest with you. I think he believes that his legacy is safe after 20-something odd years of being here. All the success that was underneath what he happened, but he don't think that would damage his legacy, but really it does to a great degree, and I'll tell you why. The reason why it damages Mickey Loomis's his legacy as a GM is because when Sean Payton was taken out of here, you can see what kind of general manager Mickey Loomis was. He wasn't really like a real true general manager. A true general manager will be there peeking in to make sure everything is straight, right? And he didn't have to do that too much with Sean Payton because Sean Payton had a lot of attributes that Dennis Allen simply lacked. So he didn't have to peek with him or peek in on him as much as he would do with Dennis Allen. But Dennis Allen has a reputation of not being a very good head coach, which means that if he hired him, he would have to evaluate him more so than he would a Sean Payton. Now, after his 7-10 year, Mickey Loomis should have got a lot more aggressive in him questioning him and forcing him, prodding him, and pushing him to make changes. Even when you see that changes need to be made to the offense, Mickey Loomis did not force Dennis Allen to do it. He let him run the team however he wanted, even if it meant into the iceberg and down at the bottom of the drink, which is totally stupid. You don't do that. You don't sit there on your backside while the team is falling through the floor and just do what you do. I'm the VP and just stay away from the team and pretend like you have no power and you watching the game like me or you watching the game. No, you the general manager. General manage some shit. General manage to get Dennis Allen to change some plays or change some people up in the offense. You have the power to do that. You're not just watching it like I'm watching the game. You have power to make Dennis Allen change something. That's what I'm talking about. And it does damage because it appears that Mickey Loomis, all he was an expensive gopher for Sean Payton. He told him, go get this, go get that, go get this, go get that. And then what Mickey did that really would make him a person to be remembered is how he was able to finagle and create these phantom year deals and do all this funny money and this creative kicking that he did when he would just simply have inventive ways of kicking the can down the road. And I could tell you who saved his ass on that. That was Ireland. Jeff Ireland was a dude that really saved him on that because Jeff Ireland hit on a lot of these damn trades and drafts that he had that the team was able to bring into with their veteran core and help prevent the Saints from having to hit the reboot button. The reboot button is when you flop out on draft picks and when you don't hit on free agents. So they did a good job of hitting in the draft on players, and then you had a Demario Davises, and you were able to underpin them with young, good talent, and that saved you from suffering $100 million in this can kicking mentality that he had. He got away with that. So if anything, that's the spotlight to Mickey's legacy. But it just goes to show you that he was nothing but an expensive gopher for Sean Payton. Look how he looks now with a coach that he actually has to do some work on. He don't want to do anything. Then he gets mad at you for telling him to get up off his ass and do his job that he getting paid to do. He don't want to do anything. So anyway, shout out to all y'all guys. Appreciate you for giving all the super chats. This is for you guys. Thank y'all.
I want to say thank you very much. Picking me up and bringing me back to this world.
All right. What's up, Barbara? You can't win. Yes, yes. Don't make me break it out, Barbara. Don't make me break out the music. Don't make me break out the music. You can't win. And Michael Jackson, he called it, man. We played that a couple of weeks ago, had people falling out laughing because it's so true. The Saints have a bullshit mentality. That's why they're not winning these games. It's as common as that. It's very commonplace. Why the Saints stink. The Saints stink because they're not taking none of this serious, man. Like I said before, if you're serious about making a change and about doing something to improve what you got going on, you're going to make changes throughout your team. And I'm talking about from an assistant coach level. During the season, you're going to move guys off from doing it, like Doug Marrone should have been demoted, and perhaps Jari Evans should have took the job. Somebody else need to be in there to motivate these offensive linemen for the Saints to block better and play better. Something has to happen. Somebody got to get cursed at. Somebody got to get benched. Somebody should have got signed. Somebody should have got demoted. Something should have happened as opposed to the same bum-ass team rolling out there doing the same crap every game. Something should have happened. Nothing happened. That's a telltale sign of a garbage back coach that's over his head. He does nothing. Even though he knows he's supposed to, he does nothing. Twice during the year, people were promoting him. Even the media was asking, any changes coming? No change. He said, yeah, change is going to come. Changes never came. That's why he got to go. He doesn't have the pulse of the team. His team is split down the line. It's just going to get worse. Then you think you're going to improve it by getting rid of the guys that don't like him. Guess what? The guys that don't like him are guys that are core members of the team. And I ain't going to say their names. You already know that. So, in the end, let's go. We're going to go to this interview. Because Mickey Loomis don't want to talk to nobody. He don't want to talk to me. He don't want to talk to nobody else that's not going to give him hardball questions. So he'll talk to this clown hoss. He'll talk to other people, but he won't talk to nobody else. He won't talk to nobody else and give him the game. That's how I know you're not serious about winning. Because if you were serious and your message was strong, you would talk to people outside of your comfort circle and have some game and give them some game. I challenge them all the time to come on here. You can talk to me. I won't do the Mickey. I won't go, hey, well, Mickey Loomis, welcome to today's show. I won't do that. I'm gonna keep that out of the way. It's just gonna be me talking regular. I'm not gonna bust the Mickey. All right, I'm gonna be real professional. But I'm gonna ask you some questions. I'm gonna ask you some questions that you don't want to answer for. Some of the questions I'm gonna ask you would be, for number one, what is the exact total of Dennis Allen's contract and how many years is it? That is a question that I don't understand. Nobody wants to answer. Mike Hoss, you want to redeem yourself for these softball, brown nosing ass questions you're doing? How about ask Mickey Loomis, how much is Dennis Allen's contract and what is the length of years on it? What is the exact total of his contract? How much money are you paying this man per year and how many years do you have him under contract for? I don't know because you did not disclose the numbers of the deal to the public, just the way the Pelicans and the Smoothie King Center did not disclose the numbers of the new naming rights deal that they just had. Smoothie King just signed up another deal to keep their monikers and their names on the buildings for the Pelicans, and by the way, a building that they don't own. They've just signed off on another naming rights deal, and guess what? The numbers of the deal are not disclosed to the public, that's awful. That's almost mobster-like. Like we're not going to tell you how much the deal is. Now, the last deal was $40 million for 10 years. How much is this one? Is it doubled? Is it $80 million for 10 years? See, this when you start paying attention to stuff like that, and when you start waking up, you start seeing there's an unelected board of people that's sitting on top of the Superdome and the arena and have control of the convention center, and who gave them this power, who told them that he can do this stuff. See, when you start looking at it like that, then things start changing because they're doing all of this because you're not paying attention. But when you start paying attention, all of this changes. You get me? So anyway, we're gonna get into this aspect of the show. We're gonna play this Mickey Loomis interview. And I don't know if anybody heard this whole Mickey, but we're gonna reply to this Mickey Loomis interview. So get your feet, put your feet up, relax, because it might take a few minutes here. We're gonna go over this interview, not the entire damn interview, but we're gonna go over this interview from what they recently did with Mickey Loomis. I think it was today that this interview with Mickey Loomis. Y'all put one in the chat if y'all can hear this, and I will stop it and react periodically. So here we go. Y'all put one in the chat if y'all can hear it.
First 3 orders and delivery in his.
We'll have Bob on Thursday, Christmas on Monday. A lot of stuff happening. Mickey, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Mike. Bobby, look, I hope you guys had a great Christmas. But yeah, we're ready to get after Tampa this week.
Right. So that's kind of where we'll begin. I mean, obviously, 2 games to play, not mathematically where you wanted to be, but you got 2 games to play. You're still in the conversation. There's still a great deal to play for. All you can do is what you can do with what's in front of you.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it is what it is. And look, we've got a game in front of us against a team that's in front of us in the division, and we need to put out our best effort.
Now, Mickey, when I
it is what it is. It is what it is. Shouldn't it be conversations made? And this is what I'm saying. If you're a general manager and you're really a general manager and you're about generally managing some stuff and keeping things on a winning side of the field, wouldn't they be ultimatum set? Wouldn't they be like, man, I'm going to have to listen. I like you a lot, man, but listen, you're going to have to win. If you don't win the playoff and get this team to the playoffs, I'm going to have to fire you. Okay. That's just holding true to the culture of the team. We have to have some accountability. I hear what you're saying. Whatever. Yeah. But me personally, and just sidebar, I don't think this is about with Dennis Allen and Mickey Loomis. A lot of people say, Q, ask me all the time, why won't they get rid of him? What's the problem? Why, most coaches or most teams that see a bull crap coach, his team is literally split on him. Just keeping it $1.15, literally split on him. And he's losing, can't control. It's just undetailed, not just everything, just tore up, just not even close. Losing games you had no business losing. Why is the feeling that he's safe? Because it's the money of the contract. I keep telling people that nobody in the NFL is there in love with somebody like that. Sean Payton was here because the majority of the year Sean Payton was winning, whether or not he got you one Super Bowl. But outside of that, he would win every year. And he would, as long as you did that to a degree, you would be safe. But Dennis Allen doesn't afford that luxury because he doesn't win. So what other thing is it? It's not him winning. He doesn't have any any good serious talent. His defense is not all of that, to be honest with you. They've been up and down for this season. They haven't been a dominant unit. For many spates of the last several weeks, they were allowing people to gash him on a running attack. Where that came from? Secondary's been solid, but his sticking point is the defense. And his defense has not always been there. Even when the offense was in a handful of these games, the defense still allowed stuff to happen. Like in the Green Bay game. Where was Dennis Allen's defense in the Green Bay game? Even though the Saints they were up 17, where was the defense with 11 minutes left to allow Green Bay to score the ball 18 in 11 minutes, score 18 points to take the game at them? What was the defense at there? And I can show different points of reference through the season where the defense failed to step up, even though they did more positive than the offense did. And the offense was simply offensive for much of the season. My thing is this, dealing with it. It's the money behind it. That's all it is. The contract, like I said, the question I've asked Mickey Loomis was, what's Dennis Allen's contract for real? How much is it? That is the question people need to be asking. Maybe people don't know. Maybe let me give you a question to ask to my media friends out there. Let's go at Dennis Allen. Or Mickey Loomis. They don't really get the chance to interview him because he stays out of the way. But what is the contract on Dennis Allen? That'll give you all of the information that you need to know about why they are behaving like this with Dennis Allen. They don't love him like that. He's not winning. It's behind his contract, and I promise you that contract is north of $8 million a year. I wouldn't be surprised if they're giving him $10 million a year for 4 years. I wouldn't be surprised at all because these are fools. So in the end, this is what they did. They did a bad bet because they thought that they had it all figured out. They had all the success all these years. They got big, fat, and comfortable and made themselves a target. They forgot to be progressive. They became dinosaurs, and with all the success, they were victims of the success. They had this long ass list of people that was lined up for the games, and they forgot that if you don't win, you don't get the support. You got to win, and that is what you're supposed to do. You can't ask me to come see you. I don't care win, lose, or draw. I'm a who that. But at the same time, if they don't represent who we are and they're not listening, and everybody, I know you hear the people yelling for Dennis Allen's throat and for what's going on with this Carr quarterback. You should be there at the very least there evaluating every day to figure out what's going on with this team. He doesn't do it. And he's not serious because he's big, fat, and happy and lazy, which is what he kind of projecting to the people. Shout out to Brent when he said that they lazy, they're reporting as lazy and unsophisticated. No, that's you. You're projecting. You're projecting because you're a general manager. That's a big, lazy ass general manager. You refuse to take any steps to stop the team from falling through the floor. And that's why you need to go, because you're operating out of a wrong place and you operating from arrogance, and that has no place here. It's a results-driven business. If you're not producing the winning result, you need to go there and change it. Don't sit up here and placate for losing. You will get targeted. You will get targeted because we've been stopped talking to Dennis Allen about changing. He's already a stonehead. He doesn't get it. But Miguel Loomis is his boss, and now he's making Ranger. You are now the target to get pushed out of there. See how this works? You can't stand in the way of progress, and you make yourself a target, man. So anyway, it's the money behind the contract. That'll be the first. I got other questions, but that's the main one. Let's get back to this, man.
Look at Baker Mayfield. It always matters when you're facing a team. But I'm looking at Tampa Bay. Baker Mayfield, he had his best game of the season. I'm looking against the Packers. He threw for 381 yards, 4 touchdowns, and a perfect quarterback rating. And I think all of a sudden I look, okay, what he's going to do against the Jaguars. And all of a sudden they had a convincing win and an impressive run where Tampa Bay's at 30-12. We all know the Jaguars. You consider them as a playoff type team. And then now all of a sudden Tampa Bay is 1 win away from securing their 3rd straight NFC South. And now we've been part of 4 straight victories to win the NFC South. So I think we kind of behind the 8 ball with Tampa Bay right now, compared to where we're at, where we'd want to be going into this season.
Yeah, look, we're looking up at them in the standings. They've played well the last few weeks. Look, that's to their credit. You know, oftentimes, you look at these opponents, and oftentimes it's when you play somebody as opposed to who you play. And look, they're playing well right now. So we're gonna have to bring our best game, and look, they've got a lot on the line. So do we, and so it should be it's a playoff type game for both of us. And that's the atmosphere that we expect.
Now, Mickey, when I look at what occurred in the Rams game, and I know you watching this, I mean, it just seems like that, you could be objective and you look at this AFC and NFC and who's hot right now. I say the Rams were definitely hot, and you say watch out for them in the NFC, considering you look at the Ravens when they went to San Francisco, what they did. And then all of a sudden they go to the East Coast, it's 31-31. And then all of a sudden they lose in overtime and a punt return. You look what the Bills have done as of late in the AFC. Is it really like a game of streaks, whether it's like a handful or like month to month? It seems like who's getting hot at the right time is significant. Who truly has a chance to make a difference?
Yeah, look, I think it gets right back to what I said, Bobby, in that oftentimes it's when you play someone, and are you playing them when they're feeling good about themselves and have a high level of confidence and everything's clicking, and the tempo's good and offensively. And look, I think that the Rams have played, particularly in offense, have played really well in the last, 4 or 5 weeks. They've got, they got an experienced quarterback. They've got really good skill position people. They found a gem in this rookie receiver. The running back's playing well. The offensive line is clicking. And so, look, we caught them at a time when they're playing well, and we needed to match that, and we didn't, particularly in the first half. Look, it was a poor start for us. They got some momentum early. We're moving the ball. And, look, it was still a 10-7, game after we scored that touchdown with a few minutes left. I thought we kind of seized the momentum back. We get a stop, and we're moving the ball down the field and get to fourth down. And we didn't convert, and then boom, 35 seconds later, they've got a touchdown right before the end of the half to make it 17-7, which in and of itself isn't something you can't overcome. But look, they also were getting the ball at the beginning of the second half, and took that down and scored two. So that was a swing in that game that we kind of climbed back into and couldn't overcome.
The same thing that he just said the Rams had when he talked about when you play the team and how you play the team. That don't matter, man. That shit don't matter. And listen, man, I'm not the BS guy, okay? The reality is this. This is how I see it. And this is if answered the question. That was a long ass question, by the way. I don't know, whether I would have jumped. I was like jumping plans, hopscotch. You had to try to see when you can jump in there. Damn. But the reality is we look at what Mickey Loomis is saying. When you talk about the quarterback position, the goddamn veteran quarterback that we was talking about, that we was dealing with, right? The veteran quarterback that he talking about. We have a veteran quarterback that I thought that was, that's decent. We knew who the Rams was when we were matching up against them. We knew that they were playing good football. We knew that. We scouted the Rams. We said as much. We knew what they were going to do, what they were dealing with. We knew that. We did. We knew what we had to do, and they didn't do it. Now, the thing about it is, why didn't they do it? That's the question. Why didn't they do it? It's not about what they didn't do. Why didn't you do what you were supposed to do against the Rams, who you knew who they were before you got there? Because we knew. We were doing the previews. We knew what time it was with the Rams. We were talking about what you need to look out for. We did a preview stream when we talked about certain people, like I do every game. We talked about people that you need to be aware of. We even talked about Aaron Donald, and I even mentioned how historically and traditionally the Saints have always had good games against Aaron Donald. They don't let him cut up like most teams do, which he didn't. He had 2 tackles in the game. We made mention of that. The reality is, man, the Saints had wide receivers. Like he talked about Puka, the wide receiver, the other wide receiver for the Rams, opposite of Cup, right? You have that guy. You have a guy like that. That's Rashid Shaheed. You have talent there too. You had the Chris Olave. You had the Rashid Shaheed. You have Elvin Kamara. You have Jamal Williams. You have Jimmy Graham. You have Jawan Johnson. You have Taysom Hill. You got all these guys. You got all of these guys. You have all of these guys. So it's not like the Rams were an offensive juggernaut that couldn't be stopped. Hell, the Rams came into the damn game with the same record we had. The same record. It wasn't a 10-win team at that point. They were a 7-7 team that was starting to peak. We had everything we needed to beat the team except a competent head coach at the top, attention to detail, and a guy that was doing stupid stuff because he was operating out of emotional as opposed from a plan. He thought he was going to go for it on fourth down against the offensive brain of the Rams, and it cost them dearly. The onside kick, all the misusage of the timeouts and all this stuff. It's like we couldn't come back. No, you didn't. And then it's this whole thing about, they fought to stay in the game. They just didn't give up. The thing is, that's the wrong way. They always spin it like, hey man, it's an effort thing. They had more effort than us. No. The Saints were never in that game. They never was in that game. Never was in that game. They scored 15 points in garbage time. They was never in the game. They scored 1 touchdown in the first half, barely did that, and then went right back to what they usually do, which is punt, 3 and out, and all that kind of stuff. That's what they've been doing. But he makes no difference about addressing that. Doesn't even use that as a sticking point to go to his head coach and say, bro, listen, I'm tired of watching these games with Derek Carr's operating his offense and these guys are not on the same field. You have to fix this or you're gone. I'm sorry. I can't continue to watch this. But there is no incentive for Dennis Allen to improve because he doesn't put any pressure on him. He sits here and placates and make excuses for him. That's why people are aiming at Mickey Loomis now. This is not how you general manage anything. And this is showing you that he's not a winning general manager operating like this, which is showing you proof that this was all Sean Payton's show. And Mickey Loomis was merely sideshow Bob on this show along. Payton was the man. He was the star of the show. And Mickey Loomis just ran and picked up his groceries. Go get me this apple. Go get me these oranges. Bring them back to me. I'm going to put this together. Get me these seasonings. Get me this meat. Put this here. Yeah, bring me this, give me these right-sized pots, and you had Chef Peyton in there cooking up, and this gopher Mickey Loomis running to get the groceries. That's what this is, because he's not doing anything to change anything. He's letting the team fail on his watch. So no, he's not a winning general manager. That was all Sean Payton, man. That's what this is showing you. It was all Sean Payton. A real good general manager wouldn't sit there and allow this guy who don't know what he's doing to drive the team into the ground. That's real. A general manager would get up and do that. Les Snead, who's the general manager that runs the Rams, would never allow this to happen. The guy that runs what's his name? Howie Roseman, the general manager from the Philadelphia Eagles, who just fleeces his dumb ass all the time because he's not who you think he is. Dennis, like the old Dennis Green used to say, he's not who you think they're not who you thought. Dennis Allen, Mickey's not who you think he is. Roseman fleeces him all the time. He's not who we think he is, family. He's a guy that's good at finagling the money, but when it comes down to actually doing a job as a general manager, this guy ain't who we thought he was, for real. And he's been exposed big time, especially these last 2 years of him actually have to be a general manager and get there and do something, and he doesn't do anything but make excuses. He's a bum-ass general manager. I'm just keeping it real. Without Sean Payton's glow or his energy in the building, Mickey Loomis is nothing. I'm keeping it real. He's nothing. Look what he's doing over the last 2 years. Nothing but making excuses for losing. This is unacceptable. You think the guy that runs the Rams would settle for this garbage? How about the guy that runs the 49ers? You think he'll settle for this type of trash? No, he wouldn't do it. They would change. They would go out in free agency and find players that want to play. They don't like me talking like this, but it's the God honest truth. All right, anyway, let me hear some of these right quick. Brother Prom says DA doesn't overshadow Mickey like Peyton, Carr, Bus. Thank you, bro. Brent says, well, look, Q, don't be unsophisticated. Come on, thank you, Brent. All right, Mike Hoss knows in the secret sauce chowder. yeah, you know what he doing. All right, Brent said he said it is what it is, no adjustments. We don't have any expectations. Just keep on supporting fans. Come on, man. That's right, Brent. Thank you for that, bro. Well, look, Big Q, we wish there was a magic formula. This is stuff. See, Brent is throwing out things that Dennis Allen said at various press conferences. And one of the losses, the press conference after the Rams loss, he said he wished it was a magic formula. It's not a magic formula. It's called accountability. I said that. You want guys to play better, you got to threaten them. I'm just saying, you got to make them feel uncomfortable about the jobs they have. What kind of, if you're a parent, if you're a good parent, how would your children learn anything if you didn't discipline them, meaning taking things away from them that they like, if they did something wrong and all you said was this and allow them to do it, that would change their behavior. There have to be accountability. There is no accountability on this team. The coach doesn't know how to be accountable. He does off code stuff all of the time. The whole Derek Carr matrix is off code. You give him all of the comeuppance, but when he throws a pick six against Atlanta that basically cost you the game, there is no blame on his part. It's all we lose as an offense. But when he won the week before against the Giants, he was, how about Carr? How about give him some credit? But then the next week when he loses the game because he stinks, they lost as a team. It's total hypocrisy. And that's why there's a fractured locker room right down the center, because these guys who play for the Saints play for real coaches, family. Most of these guys came from winning programs and coaches that will run circles around Dennis Allen. The guy doesn't know what he's doing, man. I know it and they know it. It's hard to play for a guy that you don't believe in, bro. I'm just keeping it real. They got to buy in. The majority of all of them have to buy in for the team to have success. And there is no accountability. Guys get false start. Guys could get blown down. Eric McCoy is on his ass all the time. Andrews Pete doesn't clear blocks. James Hurst looks weak. They don't do anything. Ryan Ramczyk is a shell of himself. Ruiz missing blocks. They all stink, and they don't stink all at the same time. They stink randomly, which is really head scratching. Like, this guy do good this time, this other guy do good this time. It's just terrible, man. If you watch the tape, they don't clear out nobody. That's why Elvin has a difficult time to run. And I'm like, why are they open these holes? You'll be surprised to see once or twice they'll actually have a decent time when they'll open the hole for Elvin to run. This is all on film. There is no way to escape nothing I'm saying. Everything I'm saying is backed up by film. It is. The play of the offensive line is atrocious. And what does Dennis Allen do? Nothing. He doesn't change the offensive coach. He doesn't bench any of these guys that's playing shitty and he goes sign somebody or bring in guys. You got guys sitting on the practice squad, bring them in there. Anything is better than watching them stink like that. Do something different is what we calling you. Change the play caller from whatever Carmichael to Curry. Do something different. He does nothing. Does the same thing over and over again. Same thing over and over again. And that is how you lose games. A magic formula, he says. The guy is absolutely clueless to what it takes to win. He is totally clueless. And Mickey Loomis is so blind and dumb. You really believe. When Mickey Loomis got set up there the last time, it says he believes that we got the right guys in the building. And we sitting up here looking at Dennis Allen team. His team is split. Guys are going to jail because they frustrated. And he's still sitting on his ass talking about we got the right guys. Are you crazy? It is and that's when I said this guy is a fraud, man. This dude is a complete, as a general manager by himself without Sean Payton, he's a complete fraud. He doesn't want to do anything that will make the team better until the offseason. So you can tank the team during the season and waste me and your time and our money on a bad product and then go into next week and go into the press machine and spend. He doesn't want to get involved in anything. He doesn't want to do any damn thing differently. That's this dude's problem. So anyway, let's finish up, man. It's absolutely horrible and garbage what this is, but I'm gonna keep hitting them. I'm gonna keep on keeping it on, man, because these guys are bums, man. Let me tell you.
Mickey, obviously with Tampa coming up Sunday, the Rams are in the rearview mirror. I get it, but I also know just from talking to you and talking to Dennis Allen and the rest of this team that they felt, and I don't want to put words in anybody's mouth, that did not win this game in the trenches, and that bothers this kind of team. With the defensive front that you have and the offensive line that you have to maybe not win in the trenches.
Yeah, I think that look, I think we they were the better team in that game, no question about it. They beat us, in at least on offense and defense. They got the advantage to us, took advantage of us, and deserved to win the game. But we did some good things in the special teams area. But that wasn't enough to overcome, the poor start in particular. I think the first 3 or 4 drives they had, a touchdown, a field goal, a missed field goal, and we ended up moving the ball at times, but not getting into a scoring area. We had a couple fourth downs that we didn't convert. And look, I don't have any reason to second guess that. Look, I think we went into that game thinking that we were going to have to score a lot of points to win, probably upwards of the high 20s or early 30s. And so I don't blame our play calling and trying to go for it and be aggressive on fourth down. But look, it didn't work out.
Now, man,
this guy. I mean, we keep saying the same stuff every week with this team. This dude here, man, just blind as a bat. And this is not how a winning general manager speaks. A general manager doesn't speak with 2 games left to go in the season, and you got to win both games General manager have to have more force in his voice, more decisive, more decisiveness in his speech in terms of what he needs to do to win this game. I do blame, unlike Mickey Loomis, who is a, what you call him, enabler. That's what the hell he is, an enabler. Like Mickey Loomis, I'm not an enabler. I'm not going to enable. I'm going to tell you the absolute truth. That's the only way we're going to get to the bottom of this. He's totally clueless as well. Whatever he's watching, you see that in the matchup, the offense we talked about, the offense has to score touchdowns. That's why I didn't pick the Saints to win the game against the Rams. The offense is too inconsistent. It can't run the ball effectively. Carr he's too inconsistent. He misses on targets on the wide receivers. The drives when they score are far in between. It's not like they pile drives one after the other. They cannot build on the momentum of a positive drive. A positive touchdown drive is then followed by 2 or 3 or more non-touchdown drives, in which they don't even get down into the opposition side of the field, where they'll punt most of the times. They almost are scoring touchdowns by luck. That's pretty much what's going on here. The majority of the time they're 3 and out in it, and a handful of times they get lucky and score a touchdown, and they just catch the team. That's what the feel of it like. Like the Saints are scoring touchdowns not on purpose. Like it's an accident they're scoring touchdowns. You'd be amazed when they score touchdowns. They're totally dysfunctional and irrational. But yet and still, we knew all of this coming into the game. And I do blame the offense for what's going on here, because they can't control what they're doing by preparing better. And of course, that will come as a result of the head coach changing the process, but you won't get any change. Notice how everything stays funky, stays inconsistent, and the only thing that's consistent about the Saints offense is their inconsistency. They're consistently inconsistent because they don't change anything. They keep doing the same thing over and over again. And God be it that Mickey Loomis is not going to get up off his ass and go in there to 3 doors down in the Saints building and tell Dennis Allen, hey, man, we got to do something now. He won't do that. He'll run from you at the end of the season because he's not a real general manager, fam. He's like, Q, we had this dude for 20 years. He had all of this winning under Sean Payton. He won all these games. He just got a game ball 2 weeks ago for having 200 victories. He was a product of success under Sean Payton. He was. Sean Payton told him to do this. I can credit for him helping get Sean Payton in here. And then they went from there. But after that, it all stops. That's why he didn't want him to go anywhere. That's why they was giving Drew Brees contracts well after Drew Brees then says that his arm wasn't no good. Drew Brees said he can't even use his right arm. We knew that when the season was that Drew Brees was old, and the Saints still was waiting for Drew Brees, and he was in his late 30s. I said, look at these people, man. Because these people don't have no vision. They holding on to something they lucked up on. They got Sean Payton here for 20-something odd years or however long it was and got all those victories, and they don't want to let it go because they don't have any plans. They don't have a vision. They don't have anything. And Mickey Loomis was a byproduct of Sean Payton because he's nothing without Sean Payton, just like Carmichael is. He's nothing. Dennis Allen's nothing without Sean Payton. These are counterparts or they're Robins to his Batman. Superboy to Superman, whatever the dumbass sidekick is, that's who they are to Sean Payton. He's the star of the show. And Mickey Loomis is Sean's sidekick. He'll always be Sean Payton's sidekick. He was sending out draft picks to help Sean Payton out when he didn't even have draft picks, when they were trading out draft picks to get rid of these other people. And then Sean Payton decided to go over there, and the Saints sent him over there. All they wanted was Sean Payton, and they were going to surrender a first-round draft pick. The Saints not only did they send Sean Payton out there, but they sent a 3rd-round draft pick from this upcoming year out there. Sent the 3rd-round draft pick for the same year when they traded him out there for Sean Payton. Mickey Loomis did that so Payton can have a draft pick to draft with. That didn't make any sense, and nobody asked him about that. And I was on the people asking, hey, man, why did you send a 3rd-round pick? We need that resource. They only wanted a 1st-round pick for Payton. Why did you send a 3rd-round pick with Payton for that one? Why did you do that? No questions. Nobody asked him why they did that. And I'm telling you, they did that because Sean Payton, he was trying to help Sean Payton out in Denver. That's totally stupid. It's the same backwards ass logic they have right now where you got rookies at the kicker position. They didn't have to get rid of Will Lutz. They could have kept Will Lutz and Blake Gillikin. That was Dennis Allen doing that, trading Will Lutz, a top 10 NFL kicker, for a 7-round draft pick to Sean Payton to help him out. These people are insane, man, and I'm sick of them, and it's time for them to go. They're too stupid to run the franchise functionally. And that's what I'm saying right here. This dude is not who you think he is. I'm just keeping it real. This dude is a sidekick. He's not doing anything. He will let this team tank out, and then he'll run away from you a week after the season and then finally come back and say, they're going to try to keep Dennis Allen, and I want them to do that. Please do. I want him to come out and say and announce to the world after Dennis Allen fails to win these games, because I'm going to tell you how this is going to go. This game against the Buccaneers, they're going to lose that game because they can't run the ball. Then Derek Carr can't be consistent with the offense. He can't do it, because it's several real reasons why, but you have to go to their building. They're telling their people to be loud. Derek Carr has to win the game for you, and they don't even have a running attack, and he is not on the same page with most of his wide receivers. You expect them to beat the Bucs, who are one of the hottest teams out there right now. Then they win 4 straight, and they can clinch the division, and they're playing for the life of their coach, for him to keep his job. Baker Mayfield carved the Saints up the first time they played, and we expect Derek Carr with no running attack and to go into Tampa Bay and take the game away from him. Please. This dude is out of his mind. Mickey Loomis is not who you thought he was, man. If he was a real general manager, like I said, if you want to know what a real general manager does, look at the dude from San Fran. Look at the dude from the Rams. Look at the dude from the Eagles. Would they sit idly by twiddling their goddamn thumbs while the Saints sit here falling through the floor? Would they do that? They would not do that. That's how you know you got a bum up there. A lazy bum that's berating the reporters for calling it like it is. That's lazy reporting. When they know that it's a split in them locker rooms, they can't report upon it. They can't talk about it, but I can. I could talk about it because I don't belong to that shit. I can talk about it, and I can tell you the truth. I know what time it is, and I've been telling you what time it is. Yeah, it's a split in that locker room. Anytime you see what's happening with those wide receivers happening like that, and those guys are not no people that go to no damn jail. Come on. This is ridiculous, man, and it's very clear.
When I look at it, let me tell you why I'm discouraged. You know, talk about winning in the trenches, offensive defensive line, but this has been the trend this season. I wish it was flipped, but basically, you know, you look at this game. We averaged 2.2 yards a run, and we gave up 4.2. But when you look at it, how the season has transpired, it's been like we've given up 4.5 yards a run, and we're only gaining 3.5. So how do you view that? Because you might think, oh, well, it's only a yard, 1.2 yards, whatever. But that's a significant difference, you know, whether you can run the ball or stop the run. And it seems like it's not worked out on our behalf.
Well, yeah, you're exactly right here. You know, it doesn't sound like a lot when you say, well, it's 1 yard different per carry, but you know, you're talking about 500 carries over the course of a season, 500 yards. And look, all we need to do is score one more touchdown per game, and you know that record's flipped. And yet, so every yard matters. Every blade of grass matters. And you know, in this game, we had 16 rushes for 35 yards. That's not going to win very many games. And so that's an area that we've got to figure out what we're not doing, because we've been a good running team in the past, and we haven't been as good this year.
Need to step aside, take a quick break. This is Mike.
I just think it's ridiculous, man. We not been what changed between the previous years when they were running the ball pretty effectively is Dennis Allen's philosophy. It's not the right people in the building is the point. Dennis Allen is not a leader. And once again, you think the guy that runs the general manager for the Rams, the general manager for the 49ers, the general manager for the Eagles, do you think any of these men would not recognize a good coach when they see one, as opposed to putting their buddy in control of the team? I mean, he sits in the same, he's not in a porta potty somewhere, which at least I don't think he is. He stays in the same building that they all in. He can walk right down the hallway. He can talk to people and see what's going on. If I know what time it is outside to be, you don't think Mickey Loomis knows this? This is chump game, man. Absolutely chump game. All right, Chantel, thank you. Says Q. Tomlin would be available for head coaching after this year. If Mickey Loomis had brain, he would scoop him up. He is a good coach with discipline and would bench Carr if he screwed up. Yeah, they have to be accountability. You cannot allow the quarterback to stare down half the field. You can't allow him to stare down people and throw interceptions. You have to be able to put pressure on him to be better. He has to have pressure on him to be better. And it can't come from him. It has to come from somebody ahead of him or beyond him. Michael Thomas and all these other guys are upset. And they like what Thomas was upset when he threw that ball to Jawan Johnson and went off Jawan Johnson's hands into an interception. They were upset even though that was on Jawan Johnson. But Michael Thomas was upset because if you would look at that play, there was another wide receiver that was running around the sideline that he threw the ball to, that he could have threw the ball to, that was running down the sideline wide open. And he was upset about what was going on in the play. Like he was upset what was happening in terms of guys running around the field wide open and Carr not even looking in their direction. He was upset in how Carr was hanging out wide receivers, throwing the ball and hanging them out where they can get hit. That's another thing that if you cared about the wide receiver, you'd have to put the ball in a certain area where these guys don't get hit on. So this was type of stuff we talking about, man, that most of the wide receivers understood and knew and were talking about. But this did not propel Dennis Allen to talk to his guy and get him together. Even the wide receivers, the stars of the team, could not get this to the head coach to get him to change his philosophy. They handling the guy with kid gloves. And that won't work. You can't do that. You can't handle him with kid gloves. He making $150 million. That's going to come with a very intense form of scrutiny. If not from the dumbass team, it's going to come from the who that's out there. They're not going to do what the team does because the team is going to operate from a position of bad faith. They're not operating correctly. They're playing like they got the game plan and they got a plan when they don't have shit but fakeness. It's all fake. And I don't think Mike Tomlin goes anywhere, Chantel. I think Mike Tomlin remains where he is. I don't think he's going to go anywhere. I'm going to be honest with you. I think he stays. But thank you for your super chat, Queen. Appreciate you. Brent says, well, you're right, Q. Every clam of chowder, every hair of possum matter. Come on, man.
Hey, bro, come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Indeed, bro. And listen, fam. One of the family members, and I'm trying to get through this thing with this dude because we still got a few minutes left in the broadcast. But listen, one of the family members, I was scrolling down. I just mentioned it. Cena, the question. Man, I can't see it now. But one of it's how do they fix it? I think there you go. Levine, what's up, bro? Says you think they're gonna figure it out, Q? I don't think they're gonna figure it out, and I'm gonna tell you why, Levine. They're not gonna figure it out because they're too busy being fake and not keeping it real. They're not serious about winning. They're not. What you mean they're not serious about winning, Q? Come on, they got to be. They're not serious about winning. Anytime you really want to figure out what's wrong with your team, and you're not going and looking at all of the details, it's not a murder mystery. This is very simple. You got film on multiple of different angles. You can see what's going on. There's statistics that's backing up what's going on with this team and why they're so poor. And if the film ain't enough, you can look at the film and determine for yourself what's going on. The running game is non-existent. They can't run the ball. You look at the quarterback. The quarterback is staring out half the field. You can look at the film. All of this is showing up on. All this shit is showing point blank, period. It's all out there. So for them to be behaving like that, like they don't know what they're doing or they don't understand what's going on and why the offense is stinking and why they can't run the ball, you put the tape on. They're not serious about winning. This is not hard to figure out. But since they pretending like it's hard and they figure out that they working on trying to get the answers and they make no changes, these people are not serious about winning because they're not going to make any changes. They're not going to change. It's simple. And we said the same shit over and over again. You want to figure out what the problem is, change the offensive line coach out, see what happens. Just change up and put Jari Evans over it with the offensive line. Bench guys. Put somebody else in there. Make a change at the quarterback level. Put them, in terms of the play caller of the offense. Put Curry over that. Let him run it for a game or two. See how it looks different. They're not serious about doing. They ain't even do that simple stuff. That's how you know they're not serious about winning. And Mickey Loomis is a clown. He sits up there and he makes excuses for everybody as opposed to figuring out what they need to do, changing things and putting pressure on Dennis Allen. Nobody's putting pressure on these people. They refuse. Mickey Loomis is not putting pressure on Dennis Allen. Dennis Allen is not putting pressure on Carr. The only people that's putting pressure on anybody is you putting pressure on these goddamn people in the Saints building. That's what's going on. Nobody's putting no pressure on these people. So anyway, Brent says, well, you're right, Q. Yeah, I got that one, Brent. Thank you for that. But yeah, I don't think they're going to change it around, bro. I have zero faith in these people, man. And I'm going to tell you what, they don't make any goddamn changes, man. That's what it comes down to. And as long as you do that, you're not going to win any games. You're not serious. You're not serious and you're not committed to winning unless you really, because you want to change, bench guys, get guys out of the way. They want to block, get somebody out of there, put somebody else in there. They're not doing none of that, man. They keep doing the same foolishness every game, and that's why they're getting the same results.
On the regular. And after 300 Instacart.
Are you struggling to lose?
I mean, last thing I tried.
Spent there. And also you get back at whatever 4:00 in the morning on Friday from the Rams game. How did it all kind of lay out for this team practice-wise? Time off for the body, time off for the mind, yet get set for what you know is going to be a very important 2 games, irrespective of what happened Sunday. You knew you needed to win pretty much your final 2.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, look, the upside of having a Thursday game is that next week, and we were able to give the players, Friday, Saturday, Sunday off to recover, spend Monday or Christmas with their families, and then we get a bonus Tuesday. And then look, our coaches and our staff, we were in on part of Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and then they were able to spend Christmas with their families on Monday, and then right back at it on Tuesday, and then a normal week starting Wednesday. So we got some extra work in, some extra preparation and game planning time, and we need it. We need it to get ready for Tampa Bay.
Now, Mickey, fans ask me, Bobby, what do you think about, you look at the NFC South, it's wide open. Look at Tampa Bay, they have a chance to win 3 straight division titles. When you look at, and if you're truly objective, who's playing better at the quarterback position right now within the division? I'm not talking about the whole NFL. You can't say that Derek Carr is playing better than Baker Mayfield. And what Baker Mayfield has done compared to Derek Carr, bang for your buck, whatever, you look at supporting cast. But you have to acknowledge what Baker Mayfield has done with Tampa Bay.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously he's played well at times, and I think Derek's played well at times. But, look, I think you have to watch every game and every play before you can make a judgment about who's doing what, particularly well.
See the coddling? The Bobby Abel, there's no disputing the difference between Carr and Baker Mayfield. There's no disputing that. The statistics show Baker Mayfield far and away is kicking Carr's ass in statistics. He beat him head to head in the matchup today. But what does Mickey Loomis do? Goes right into it talking about you got to look at every game. We look at every game, Mickey. We look at all the games, and Baker Mayfield is kicking Carr's ass, man. He's kicking him. He's whooping him. And since Mickey likes stats so much, let's put this on. Look at this. Let me put this on. This is Baker Mayfield statistics right now. Baker Mayfield statistics right now. Almost 3,600 yards passing, 26 touchdowns against 8 interceptions. Now, his rating is 56.9, but that's the only bad thing you can say about Baker Mayfield. And he's a lot cheaper than this chump Carr we got, who all he sits up there to do. He's the Joel Osteen of the Saints team. All this positive talk, but no positive results on the field. We don't want to hear that, man. His numbers are way significantly better than what he is, and the team is responding to Baker Mayfield. They're responding. They're on a 4-game winning streak, and the Saints can't seem to get it right. So even though you look at the statistics behind Carr's numbers, like I said, the back end of the Rams game when Carr threw those touchdowns in garbage time, that was a stat packing affair you seen right there. It was stat packing. They had no intention of winning that game. The 15 points he threw that and packed up and put that on there. That game was not even close. The Saints wasn't close to winning that game at all. They didn't have a chance. They allowed the clock and they played bullshit the entire game and waited toward the back end of the game before they decided to try to do something about it. It's pathetic. If I'm making Loomis to sit on his ass and sit up here and talk about watching every game, you see how they protect Carr like he's a porcelain princess? That's the problem with the Saints. Stop protecting Carr when he stinks and call it like it is.
Today, the 24 teams, we were able to give the players, Friday, Saturday, Sunday off to recover in on.
I mean, what do you think about, you look at the NFC South, it's wide open. I talk about the whole NFL. You can't say that Derek Carr is playing better than Baker Mayfield. And what Baker Mayfield has done compared to Derek Carr, bang for your buck, whatever, you look at supporting cast. But you have to acknowledge what Baker Mayfield has done with Tampa Bay.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously he's played well at times, and I think Derek's played well at times. But, look, I think you have to watch every game and every play before you can make a judgment about who's doing what, particularly well. But the records speak for themselves, and we're looking up at them in the division. They've done a good job, and it's been a bit of an unusual year. At least it feels like it. I read today that 24 teams are still involved in the playoff hunt, and so there's a lot of teams that are in this, 7-8, 8-7, 6-8, 8-6, area, and that's where we are right now. And look, we have a chance this weekend to win a game, and then go into the last weekend with another chance. So, but it starts with this weekend. Starts with Tampa. Look, I don't like that they've won 2 divisions in a row, and then on the verge of another one. They've got a chance to do that. I don't like it. None of us like it here. None of us, and certainly none of our fans like it. But we got a chance to do something about it this weekend. So we'll see what happens.
He don't like it, but he won't do nothing about it though. He always says he don't like it. He mad, but he don't do nothing about it. He don't exercise his power. Never exercise his power. Never exercise anything. We're gonna see what's gonna happen. No, don't see what's gonna happen. Go guarantee a win. Do that. Go in there and tell Dennis Allen, come out. We're gonna guarantee the Saints will beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You don't hear none of that, do you? They have no choice. They got to win. They should be guaranteeing wins. We guarantee we're gonna win. Let's put that on. It is. Let's see what these people are a joke, man.
Now, Mickey, fans have asked me, and I'm just a voice of the fans, and I'm just trying to keep it in the right perspective. When you look at like the quarterback position, much is given, much is required, and it changes year to year. And you can it's always hindsight. You look in the past at what happens in the future. For instance, like Alex Smith, he was a solid Kansas City Chief quarterback. Then they draft Patrick Mahomes. We win the bidding of Pat Mahomes. You probably were part of that with Sean Payton, obviously. We got Marshawn Lattimore, how that played itself out. But the question I have for you, are y'all willing right now, even though you have the money invested in Derek Carr, are y'all willing to maybe draft a future quarterback, whether it be a Jane Daniels from LSU or whatever, that okay, not only 2024, then you got to look at 2025, because fans have told me, well, look, Alex Smith, he was the quarterback for 1 year, then they passed the torch, and we all know what occurred there. So is that a possibility that you could draft a quarterback if you really like him, like high in this draft, and maybe make moves to move up to get the quarterback of the future beyond Derek Carr?
Look, Bobby, you're asking me to speculate about the future, and we're in the middle of a season. I'm not going to do that. Yeah, that's
You're not in the middle of the season, Loomis. You got 2 games left at the end of the year. Your team is 7-8. You're not in the middle of the season to speculate about picking up a quarterback of the future. This is ridiculous, man. This guy's not a general manager, man. You're going to speculate. You're supposed to be having a plan right now. So your planning don't start until the season is over with. Is that what you're saying? Or perhaps you just don't want to give it away. I've responsibility. Well, we got to continue. We got a thought process or a plan. We're going to do that. I told you this guy here, these people are fly by the seat pants type people, man. They are not long distance thinkers here. These people are fly by the seat thinkers, man. What is the contingency plan if Carr fails? What do you do? What is the contingency plan if Dennis Allen fails? What do you do? They don't have any contingency plan. The plan is to sell to you Dennis Allen for a 3rd year because they don't want to pay the money to get rid of him, to break the contract, to get another coach. They don't want to do that. They want to keep all of that money. And it's cheaper to spend to you to keep Dennis Allen for a 3rd year, even though will fire Pete Carmichael. That should shut him up and keep Dennis Allen on top of the team because we don't want to break his contract, pay him off, and go and pay another guy. We want to keep this money. We don't want to do that. Did you hear what this guy just said? You're going to ask me to ask about you're not at the middle of the season. You're 2 games before the end of the regular season. This dude don't even know what planet he's on, man. You're not in the middle of the season. That's the problem. This guy don't even know where his timeline is. We got 2 games left to go in the regular season. This is the last week before 2024 changes over. Since when does the middle of the NFL season start at the end of December? Since when? This dude don't know what planet he's on, man.
That's the charge. And we all know what occurred there. So is that a possibility that you could draft a quarterback if you really like him, like high in this draft, and maybe make moves to move up to get the quarterback of the future beyond Derek Carr?
Look, Bobby, you're asking me to speculate about the future, and we're in the middle of the season. I'm not going to do that. That's a silly what if exercise. So I'm not even going to go down that path.
This dude is crazy, man. I knew it, man. This man is out of his mind. Mickey Loomis just said today. What date is it today? Today is December the 27th. Wednesday, December the 27th. My time is 9:21 Central Time. Let me say that again. Let me give you a time reference. And this interview happened today. It is Wednesday, December the 27th at 9:21 Central Time, my time. Since when does the NFL season start or is at its central point in late December? The answer is it is not. It is not at the center of the season. And he says it's silly to look at that like that way. And they didn't check him. It's like, hold on, Mickey. It is not at the middle of the season. The middle of the season is when your garbage ass team lost to the Minnesota Vikings. They had a bye, and then they had to go out and lose. They lost again to the Falcons after the bye, after having these fantastic practices. You have 2 weeks left to go in the NFL regular season. And it is a great question to ask you about the quarterback. What is the contingency plan if Carr fails? What is the contingency plan if Dennis Allen fails? These are valid questions that anybody's supposed to have. But for Mickey Loomis to say what he just said, and I'm going to play it again, this guy doesn't know what planet he's on. He's told Bobby Hebert that is at the middle of the season. You can't make this up. You can't make this up. That should be a big story. General manager of the New Orleans Saints tells local reporter that he's not going to comment about the quarterback of the future because he says it's a silly question, and the fact that he's not going to comment on it because it's the middle of the season, even though it is not the middle of the season. We got 2 weeks left to go in the regular season. This dude's crazy. Let me play it one more time.
Look, Bobby, you're asking me to speculate about the future, and we're in the middle of the season. I'm not going to do that.
Which is his job now. It is his job to speculate about the future plans of the Saints. He's the general manager. He is supposed to have the plans of what's going on with this team. Even from week to week, he's doing evals every week on the progress of this team. That's what general managers does. I told you this guy ain't no real general manager. I told you this guy is not a real GM. Nothing about him is a general manager. He was an accountant for Peyton for many years, and now you're seeing what kind of general manager he is. He's not a general manager. That's why guys like Howie Roseman can fleece him, and these other guys could fleece him with these picks because he don't know what he's doing, man. This dude is not the general manager you thought he was. All this was operating through Sean Payton, bro. This dude sitting up here saying he's not, with 2 weeks left to go in the NFL regular season, he's not going to look at it. And everybody right now got draft boards going, mock drafts going. The college football season is almost at an end. The players that are going into the draft, the majority of those guys, if it's not playing for a national championship, those guys aren't playing anymore. They're getting ready for the combine and all these other pro days that's going to be operating. So you would, if you were the New Orleans Saints, you would already have your ducks in a row getting ready to do that. So it's not like you're going to ask me about the future. So you think as far as your feet go. Obviously, you put one foot in front of the other one and walk, and that's as far as his thinking is. This is insane.
Yeah, that's a silly what if exercise. So I'm not even going to go down that path.
Crazy.
Mickey, what's unique about this Tampa team, at least to me?
I'm done with Mickey Loomis, man. That just right there, that did it for me right there. I'm done. This dude sat up here and said he's not going to ask a question or answer a question about drafting a quarterback, first, and he mentioned Jaden Daniels, by the way, an LSU product, which would never happen because the Saints don't want nothing to do with LSU players at all, unless you pick them at the 7th round or as an undrafted free agent. They want absolutely nothing to do with LSU players. Jaden Daniels was one of the best quarterbacks to come out of college. The Saints are simply going to pass on him, just like they passed on Lamar Jackson for Davenport, by the way. All this happened with the mighty Sean Payton. They moved up from 27th or whatever it was to 15 or 16 or wherever they picked, moved up to get Davenport at. We thought they were going for Lamar Jackson. Them people picked Davenport, who ain't even on the team no more. And look what Lamar Jackson doing for the Ravens right now. We'll talk about stupid. Jalen Hurts was a guy I kept telling him to draft. I kept telling him about Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts running the league now, running around. He got the Eagles on his back. They left on that. Just crazy, backwards ass people, man. I told you this guy wasn't a general manager. He doesn't even know what planet he's on in the middle of the season. It's not the middle of the season. We got 2 weeks left before the season ends. Boy, I'm done with that dude. I'm done with them. These people are literally out of there. I told you these people are incompetent, man. They don't even know what time it is, man. How they going to fix something and they don't even know what time? This should be a big story for everybody.
Like high in this draft,
Yeah,
moves to move up to get the quarterback of the future beyond Derek Carr.
look, Bobby, you're asking me to speculate about the future, and we're in the middle of a season. I'm not going to do that. Yeah, that's a silly what if exercise. So I'm not even going to go down that path.
Got to go. You're a dinosaur, bro. Got to get this dude out of here. It's not the middle of the season. Speculate. It's not speculation, man. You got to have contingencies in place. If you're a real general manager or a person that runs a business, you got to understand. If there's something wrong, you got to have contingencies in place. The Saints rightfully, commonsensically can take a quarterback, especially if it's a Jaden Daniels type, to bring in here, and they can get rid of a guy like Taysom, who eventually going to be too expensive, and Sean Payton's going to peel from him away anyway. And then Jaden Daniels can run. He won't be as physical as a Taysom Hill, but you can still do a dual offensive thing with Jaden Daniels because he's a guy that can throw and pass. Imagine if you had Jaden Daniels in the Saints dual quarterback or the RPO package that they like to run. Could you imagine that? He's a guy that not only can run, but also can throw the ball. That's something Taysom Hill cannot do. He cannot throw the ball accurately. Jaden Daniels can. So it would definitely turn that offense into something unique, and it would put all kind of pressure on Carr to perform better, which he probably wouldn't be able to do because in order to do better and be better, he had 10 years of flawed, bad technique that he would have to shake off to be better, which if he's motivated, he might be able to do something, but who's going to tell him the truth when they're coddling him? So anyway, I'm done with that, man. That is why family members actually, when they get it turned around, that is why they won't get it turned around. That is why they won't get. Y'all heard what that man just said? He can't comment on the future of the team because we in the middle of the season. We're not in the middle of the season, dude. You got 2 weeks left of the season. It's ridiculous. Brent says, "Well, you're right, BQ. Every clam child, yeah. I think I read that one. Thank you, Brent. Yeah, what a lazy, unsophisticated question about me. He says, about made me spill my chowder. Come on, man. Yeah, that is a bad comment by this. This dude don't know what planet he's on. And he's not going to get involved. We'll see how it all fares out. No, it shouldn't be we'll see. See, I would say we'll see, but you shouldn't be saying we'll see. You should be going in there and say, hey, bro, win these games, or I'm going to have to fire you. That's called accountability. Win or you're out. That's what should be going on now, not whether or not to spin it. So, I mean, it's ridiculous, man. This should be a huge story, man. Rush Hour says it sounds like the blind leading the blind. You hear this dude that I'm giving you these people's their own words, bro. I'm just playing these people. I'm saying, did y'all catch that? Because sometimes they prattle on, and then you kind of have a blind ear to them. So to a degree, it becomes like just noise. But then when you start actually listening, and I stop and I pause these things, say, hey, did y'all catch that? That's how a lot of times we be able to get them and hang them up on their own words. And Mickey Loomis, that's what I was saying, bro. I'm calling into question Mickey Loomis as a general manager. You might be a good VP, but in terms of a general manager without Sean Payton as his sponsor, man, this dude is not a real general manager, bro. He's not. He knows how to cook the books, but in terms of him putting pressure on somebody and what he's doing, man, that's how I'm like, man, how is Roseman fleecing him? And that he has to, his words is keep his hands in his pockets when he's around Howie. No, you don't have to keep your hands in your pockets. Just don't be a dumbass. Don't be a moron, a chump, a simp, an idiot. And this is the type of stuff that we got to deal with. This is the dude that's supposed to help get the Saints back out of the playoff purgatory into, and get us back to winning. This guy who don't even know what planet he's on. This is ridiculous, man. Absolutely ridiculous. This is crazy. This is insane, man. This is absolute insanity, man. And people asking me, Q, what's wrong? Now you know what the problem is. You know what the problem is, man. You got to think about the future, because the reality is the Saints, how they're currently constructed, they won't last. This team was only built for a 2 to 3 year window. They're listed as one of the oldest teams in the NFL. How do you think you was going to get away with that? You only had a window for Dennis Allen to do what he do. That's what they bought into the continuity stratagem, which was we're going to keep everything the same. We're going to let Dennis be the coach, and we're going to have Pete Carmichael. He got Sean Payton's offense, and it sounded good until you realized that Dennis Allen was not a coach, that he had no accountability. He had no attention to detail. He was a guy, he wasn't no motivator. He was weak and flimsy and effeminate at times, and this is what we dealing with. So, I mean, in the end, this is just not good, man. This is not good. And right now, like, word on the street is a lot of really good players for the team, they split on him. You got a split team, which shows you why they are where they are. Do you beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Man, y'all already know the answer to that one. This is crazy, man. This is absolutely insane, man, playing this clown. But anyway, fam, I'm going to get ready to get out of here. That done completely pissed me off, man. Listen to Mickey Loomis sound like that. And he have at least another 10 to 15 minutes of video. And I if y'all want to listen to it. Y'all can listen to it on your damn own. I'm done with it. These dudes are clowns and buffoons, man. And they're time wasters. That's what they do. They just waste time, man. They're not serious about changing nothing around. Mickey Loomis shouldn't be sounding like, we'll see what happens. No, you need to go in there and guarantee some wins. You need to put some pressure on people. And that's what they're not doing. There's nobody putting pressure on nobody except for the Who Dat Nation putting pressure on them to get it right. And sooner or later, they're going to lose, because you can't win against us, especially when we coming from a place of total fairness. If you want the bread, you got to perform. And this team is involved in too many excuse-making exercises. It's just ridiculous. It won't work. You will fail. You are failing. And we will continue to not support this madness with a guy that don't even know what planet he's on. This, it's just ridiculous. They have no plan. This is a fly by the seat of their pants operation. This is what it is with Mickey Loomis. He has no plans. No plans, no contingencies. If Carr fails or Dennis Allen fails, no contingencies. Just outright stupidity and bullheaded crap to go into the, we're going to win. We're going to force around a square peg into a round hole. This is the mentality these people have. Anyway, I'm going to holler at y'all on the flipper, man. I appreciate all the family members on this one, man. And this, listen, bro, this is real talk here, man. I don't have time to placate and play around with the Saints, man. If you're a football team, you want our support, you got to win. And that's win at all costs. And Dennis Allen is way over his head. If Mickey Loomis can't see that, he needs to go too. So there are ways to turn this around, but the current administration will not do it. They're incompetent and incapable of doing it. They had a totally talented team, full of talent left and right on this team. And what they did, turn them into the exact same record. They'll probably finish the year with the same record they was last year. They'll probably finish the same way. It's just, this is repugnant, it's ugly, and it's stupid when it comes down to it. We're going to think this team is going to beat anybody, beat Tampa Bay. Man, come on, man. With how they behave and talk, whatever. All right, anyway, listen, I'm going to take a few questions. I'm going to get on out here. Kevin says, Q said to hell with this. I'll say it with the hell with this because it's stupid, man. It's time racing. That Dimitri says, just let Tampa win. We want them to keep Baker, and it might still pick somebody else, bro. RG says, Q, they're not bringing in a QB to challenge QB. Carr couldn't handle the pressure. I know I just said that, RG. You're right. I just called that. I said the thing is, there won't be serious change to the Saints organization because it would make them look bad. They already look bad and stupid already. That's, but they thinking they still looking, they got some type of slither of integrity, which they have none. But the reality is they don't want to look bad by drafting a quarterback with the first round pick. You just spent $150 million on 4 years on a quarterback. Why would you take a quarterback in the first round? Well, you would do that. Two reasons. Number one is it's a contingency plan for the future because Carr's been 10 plus years in the game. He's getting beat up a lot. He might not make it the full 4 years. He's at the first, look what he had to deal with the first 4 years. And I get it, a lot of people don't believe he's hurt, but I'm going to go with I see. I think the dude hurt. But he got broken ribs, a tore up shoulder where he can't push the ball up the field. All this kind of stuff going wrong with the fool. So in the end, I think that he might not make it there if they don't get that offensive line fixed. He might not make it 4 years. Plus, he's not all that. You need to have a quarterback of the future in place. And if they don't do that, they'll be making the same mistake they made when they brought Drew Brees here. They don't want to put pressure on the quarterback to keep his position. The guy want to have the position outright, and Carr doesn't deserve that. He hadn't done anything to earn the fact that he's the quarterback one. They just made him the guy. They gave him a bunch of money and said, you the quarterback one. You got to win over people. And it's going to take more than buying Rolexes and steaks or whatever the hell he bought for him on Christmas. He going to have to step up and show up. Yeah, this team to me is ridiculous. All right, Rush Hour says Mickey Loomis is the opposite of, yeah. This is. It just, when all that showed, that was just, it's the buffoon level. Yeah. Clown. Yeah. These are crazy people, man. Yeah. These are crazy people, man. They say why they draft for QB that will never play. These are crazy people, man. Eric says Q, they will run back the same old. Yeah. These people have no vision, man. Yeah. This is awful, man. They had an opportunity to really do something positive. And what they did was they put a guy. And now listen, this is on Mickey Loomis. I'm not even put it on Dennis Allen. Dennis Allen don't know what he's doing. But Mickey Loomis is supposed to have all this 200 games worth of NFL experience. And what he does, he let Dennis Allen runs the team in the ground because he doesn't go and tell him anything. He would rather tell you to don't boo and all this kind of sense and call the reporters' names and berate them as opposed to going and checking his guy to make sure he started winning some games. So it's a joke, man. It's a freaking joke. A-Camp says, damn, I used to have a lot of respect for Mickey. Bro, I'm telling it like it is tonight. It's showing you can't get away from it. Mickey Loomis is not who we thought he was. That's why Roseman from the Philadelphia be fleecing them for picks. Dude trading picks for, there's 2 stupid picks that he gave up, the 3rd round pick to go along with Sean Payton for a 1st round pick, a late 1st rounder from Denver. Why would he give up the 3rd round pick? We could use that because we getting old here. We need those picks to build the team up draft wise. He gave up the Will Lutz, the kicker, for a 7th round pick, and Will Lutz is kicking his ass off for the Broncos right now. Why? And see, the thing is, when Dennis Allen was doing that, Mickey Loomis could have shut all that down. He could have shut all that shit down. Say, man, we're not trading this dude. He could have shut all of that down, but he went right along with it because he's a dummy. This dude is not, and not like I said, he's not who you think he is, bro. He's not. This dude will sit up here and let them sink this team and then come out with excuses after the season over with. It's what he did. This dude is not going to do nothing, man. So we pushing on him to make a decision. He don't want to do nothing. All right, A-Camp said the only thing I could think his plan might be is accepting the tank next season already to get another year of these contracts behind us and try to rebuild in 2025. Don't make any sense. That flies in the face of the traditional logic that he had when he was building up the team. It don't make no sense for him to do it that way. Because prior to that, what he was doing was he wanted to keep the team together because he believed in the old and young people that they had where they can keep the winning going. So it kind of flies in the face of the logic that they have. Now that the plan is going away, these people are not shifters. They're not really progressive thinking people. They would rather just ride it down and then make excuses to you. If Dennis Allen's a bad coach, which he is, and if he doesn't make the playoffs, there shouldn't be no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He should be fired. And the Saints should be already back out there looking for another head coach. Why won't they do that? Because of the contract and the fact that you got a non-motivated guy that's a general manager. This dude doesn't need to be the general manager anymore. Yep, John says Pete don't know what they're doing. It's obvious. Yeah, they playing with Kamara and his touches. You see Alvin Kamara slamming the ball down when he running, man. Alvin Kamara running around out there in the damn field, running around throwing the ball down because he can't get an open lane to run through. How often y'all put one in the chat? You see Alvin Kamara frustrated slamming the ball down when he get up, thinking he gonna hit a hole and then he gets tackled for a loss. All the time. It's it's the picket line, bro. It's just non-activity, bro. Don't give them your money. I've been saying that now for what? How long I've been saying that for now? Don't give them your money. They don't want to listen. Don't give them your money. It's as simple as that. Don't give these people none of your bread. Don't give it to them. See Kamara there. And then the thing is, even if they do get rid of Dennis Allen, it's going to be a cheap option because I'm telling you, the contract is expensive on Dennis Allen. They're paying him more than what he's worth. That's why they're hiding it from you. I'm telling y'all what it is. I'm telling y'all how it's going, bro. I'm telling you the truth. I was telling you about these people in the locker room when they were talking about the reporters as being lazy and unsophisticated. I told y'all guys then the reporters know they got guys inside that locker room that don't believe in Dennis Allen. I told y'all guys that then when he said these comments, I said the reporters can't tell you about it because it wasn't time for them to tell you about it. It would have violated the trust of the players. But eventually it'll leak out. And once it leaked out, then it'll cover it. Then that won't happen until after the season. So you see it starting to creep to light weeks before the season. And then when the season ends, it's all going to come out. All the stuff going to come out with Laddie Daddy, with Mike Thomas. All that's going to come out at the end of the season. That's what it is. They holding it back. But when the season is over with, it's going to come forward like a dam that got cracks in the wall and then collapse. All that water coming. You can't hold it up. Telling you, man, it's just what it is, bro. Brent, thank you, bro. Says Possum's really ride or die. That's playing possum. Yeah.
Hey, bro.
Playing possum, bro.
Dog. Come on, man.
All right, but listen, fam. Listen, I appreciate y'all for chiming on this episode of the show, man. It's just crazy, man, how this stuff is in. Listening to Mickey Loomis, it just shows you that change needs to happen. And like I said, when the season ends, I got a show that I'm gonna do where I'm gonna kind of break down all of this stuff and talk about changes that need to happen for the team for it to really go somewhere, because they're not going to experience success underneath Mickey Loomis. His judgment on Dennis Allen was really bad. Now we allow, the first time when you realize Dennis Allen wasn't who he thought he was, and then you're supposed to self-correct and put pressure on him to change. That none of that was happening. He's just letting him do it, which shows me that he's a shitty general manager, that he's not the general manager that you thought he was. He's not. That's why other people can fleece him for picks. That's why other people make moves that he don't move. People be looking to try to get the players when players get cut. Where did Darius Leonard go? Because somebody answer that. Where did Darius Leonard go? Didn't he go to Philly? Where did Darius Leonard go? Put it in the chat. Y'all remind me. Thank y'all for the super chats too, family. Thank you for the cash apps and super chats. I appreciate you. I'm a little peeved tonight because of all this foolishness. Where did Darius Leonard go? To the Eagles. Look at that. You think that's by chance, man? To the Eagles. Darius Leonard, these people are not serious about winning, bro. They just want to bank out and make money. They just want to make money off of you and turn out an inferior product. And then when you start saying change, they want to start making excuses. Well, the excuse we're not going to support. You can hold that shit. You keep all them renovations and all that money. You're not gonna bank. The Saints right now, they selling the tickets. I was talking to my sister and they was telling me, that Saints selling tickets for $7. I said, good. Finally getting people on board with not going to these games, man. Stop going to these games. Don't go there and don't spend no money with these people until they make changes. They don't like me talking like this, but do something about it. Make some changes. Anyway, that'll be enough of that. I'm going to holler at y'all on the flip side, man. I appreciate y'all. Please feel free to hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. If you enjoy the stream and the keeping the real nature of what we do here, man, much love. Show some support. Share the show's link on your social media feed. Let them know, man. It ain't going to be no support without no wins, bro. We're not going for that. You're not going to turn this team into have us running out here like the Carolina Panthers people. Absolutely not, man. We won't let you do it, man. We won't let you do it. But I'm going to holler at y'all on the Thursday stream. Much love to the fam. Who that now?
Yeah. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like Elf. I thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube Live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your chain for the championship. Bucking on town, duck down. Falcons pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy, then you probably smell the crooked referees on Roger Goodell. Yeah, bugging like this, and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like this, and I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
WhoThatDaily.com. That's right, the WhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, WhoThatDaily.com is your site. The WhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us. That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform store where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below. And remember, it helps the